This phone is great and all, but what if it was even better? Like, what if the screen could transform, and then I get like 2 screens? Man, that would be sick.
Why did I buy this?
Have you ever wanted your smartphone to transform into a smartphone with a slightly smaller screen underneath it? Well, the LG Wing is the phone for you. This phone was the swan song of LG's mobile division, right before they dissolved it. Yeah, this was one of LG's last phones. While it wasn't their last phone, it was most certainly their coolest. Let's open up this phone and take a closer look at it. But before we do that, we need to open up this sponsor segment for this video. This video was sponsored by Odoo, an all-in-one solution to help you manage your business, whatever it may be. Odoo combines multiple apps together to create one cohesive ecosystem for your business. So instead of searching for many different apps that may not work well together, you can simply use Odoo's suite of apps that are guaranteed to give you an easier time. As a business, you'll probably need to send off some invoices to people. In that case, simply use Odoo's invoicing application to create your invoice in seconds. Just simply write down the client's details, the products and services they need to pay for, the amount they need to pay, and any payment terms. It's simple, and better yet, taxes are calculated automatically, and you can send it right to the customer through email without even leaving the app. Odoo makes all of this easy, so you can get back to doing whatever this is. Hey man, it's your business, I'm not gonna judge. After you've sent off your invoices, you can see in a nice neat list which invoices have been paid and which customers you may need to follow up with. You can use Odoo's invoicing application for free using their lifetime free first app offer with unlimited hosting and support. Hey, you don't need to look anywhere else when Odoo is here for you. Check him out using the link in the description below. Uh-oh. Let's have a look at the design of the LG Wing. Upon first impressions, this device looks a lot like a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which is a good thing. That's a good phone. The overall shape of the device is very similar, being a little bit more boxy than most other phones. It has a curved screen that goes over the edge of the device, which makes durability and screen protectors kind of a pain. It's got symmetrical bezels along the top and bottom of the device. It's definitely a lot thinner than the Note 9. It doesn't have a hole punch camera either, or any kind of notch, which I would say I kind of prefer something that looks like this compared to something with a hole punch camera, because it's less distracting and you have a little bit of bezel to hold onto. This phone has an under-display fingerprint scanner. So you can see it actually shines with a green light, which is strange compared to other phones. Most phones have it be white, but this phone does green for some reason. It's an optical fingerprint scanner. It's not very quick, but it's also not too bad. Moving on to the side of this device, we have all our buttons. We have our power button and our volume buttons. And they have this very interesting shape to them where they're kind of arched, where they're higher in the middle and then lower on the sides. It's a good design idea in theory, and it feels nice to slide your thumb over, but also trying to press the buttons, I don't like it very much. I find my thumb just kind of slipping off. So not my favorite. If we have a look at the left side of the phone, here we have our SIM tray. I really hate that phones are getting rid of micro SD card slots. It's ridiculous. Even SIM card slots are starting to disappear now. But not in Australia, even the iPhone still has a SIM tray because eSIM is garbage. Also, this is laid out horizontally. This is one of the weirdest SIM trays I've ever seen, but it feels a lot more rigid than the super long ones we usually get. Let's pop this bad boy back in. Like so. Taking a look at the bottom, we have our USB-C port and some speakers. No headphone jack because of course it doesn't have one. And overall you could tell the phone's a little bit chunkier than usual. It's not horrifically chunky, but it's also not slim either. I mean, there's a very good reason for that, but we're not going to get into that just yet. Taking a look at the top of the device, we actually have a very nifty little surprise here, which we'll get into in a moment. Taking a look at the back of this phone, we have a glossy back glass finish, which is basically extinct on modern flagship phones. And let me tell you, trying to clean this for the video is an absolute pain in the ass, but this black finish has this really cool blue shimmer to it. I really like when phone manufacturers used to do cool things with the back glass on their phones. And to show you how fingerprinty this is, If I touch it a little bit, yeah, that is what the phone will be looking like most of the time. It's just a smeary mess. Same with the screen especially, but the back glass, yeah. Back here we have our triple camera setup with our Hexa motion stabilizer. Thanks LG for letting me know. Man, every time I see this brand, I never think of smartphones or laptops. I always think of washing machine, fridges. You know, I don't think of smartphones when I think of LG, even when they did make phones. Now that's cool and all, but if there's no hole punch camera and the bezel's that thin, where's the front-facing camera? Well, let's open up the camera and let's switch it to a front-facing view. What? Yeah, this is one of those phones. This phone comes from that weird era of smartphone history where motorized pop-up cameras were a thing. I can actually push the camera a little bit. Yeah, and it will actually close it. Applying force to the front camera may cause it to malfunction. That's hilarious. And then it just opens right up again. That's sick. And then if we close that, it's very loud. Some of these phones with pop-up selfie cameras from the day would use the accelerometers to detect when you drop the phone to hide the camera before it hits the ground. Does this phone have it? It does! The front camera has been closed to protect the lens. It's so instant, wow. It's like before I even drop it. I don't even have to put that much force into it. Yeah, I'm totally gonna wear out the camera doing that actually. What a nifty, weird, and probably unreliable little feature. But honestly, it was super cool seeing things like this back in the day. Just how crazy smartphones got at the end of the 2010s. Of course, it's not as crazy as the Oppo Find X where the whole top of the phone would lift up, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. However, all of that pales in comparison to the LG Wing's flagship feature. The second screen. All you need to do is push on this bottom corner of the phone and boom, now you have an entire second screen on your phone. The main screen flips out to be horizontal and then you get an extra screen on the bottom here to do more stuff with, I guess. Now in theory, this is a super cool and practical idea. In execution, however, it's so underbaked and pointless most of the time. It's kind of funny. So I will say it is actually pretty useful because you can go onto something like YouTube and let's just say, oh, I need to go search something. Well, the keyboard just pops up on the bottom here so you can keep using it in landscape mode. Now you can bring your thumb up to control the phone like this. Good luck trying to touch any of this part of the screen, like that's literally impossible. But if you want to make using the phone like this easier, you can swipe this down and get a few extra controls. So you can press this button to swap what app is on what display. I actually find most of the time when I use this device, I always turn on trackpad mode. Yeah, trackpad mode. Now there's a cursor on the screen. It's a computer. What have I done? What on earth is happening here? Okay, there we go. And I gotta say, the trackpad works very well. You can use 2 fingers to scroll just like on a laptop, which is sick. But also, a little throwback to laptops from like 2008, you have this dedicated space on the side here for scrolling, which is funny. And it's even got horizontal scrolling as well, which I can't demonstrate here right now, but trust me, it does work. This is so funny. I just absolutely love this. We can just click on the video here. Look at that. You can just watch a video like this, and then you can close the trackpad, go to the Play Store, and then just start browsing things. Or you can open up Discord and start messaging people. Though, that being said, it's not really detecting things properly. It thinks the whole phone's in landscape mode, so Discord is refusing to actually slide the chat over. Yeah, this is literally unusable. I can't even tap that because the stupid Discord Nitro button's there. Oh, you can press that to have a little player for that, and then you get a bugged out YouTube icon behind it. What is this? Why is it showing me some low-res blurry YouTube icon? What is this? Discord is straight up unusable on here, but that's okay because we can then do this with the phone. And now we're watching the video like this, and then we can close this, and then we can type, and then we can just start scrolling like a normal phone while we're talking to people like this. So you can actually use it in either orientation, but even just doing a basic demonstration of this, you can very clearly see that there are some horrible bugs with this. It's not optimized properly, and it's It's funny. Something that's cool though is that if you're in trackpad mode, you can actually swipe up on the bottom to activate gestures. And then you can scroll through it using this horizontal scroll wheel. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, let's turn up the volume. Bruh. Trying to change the volume on this device is an absolute pain because your instinct is to lift up your thumb. Oh, the screen's in the way. Hold on, let me tuck my thumb behind the screen, then let me try and press these buttons with the screen in front of it. No wonder why they have this little UI to do it for you. So at least there's that. Trying to reach back and press these buttons. This phone is so slippery with all the glossy glass on the back. When you try and increase the volume, it's a disaster. It falls apart immediately. Oh, but what about if you want to take a screenshot of what you're doing? Well, you got to have one finger back here and then do this. There we go. I got the screenshot, but oh wait, it took a screenshot of the trackpad. No, we're gonna tap up here, then reach around and press the buttons. Wow, how intuitive. Oh, but don't worry, it gets better. If we press the lock screen, here we go, we're on the lock screen and oh, I can't reach the fingerprint scanner. It's up there. I can scroll up here to type in my PIN, which I guess is okay. But I gotta like bring my thumb up here, but oh wait, I didn't register this thumb, I only registered this one. So what I gotta do now is close the screen. Which you can do with one hand, but it's really not that intuitive to do. It is possible, but you have to reach a little bit. It's not as easy as just flicking it open, which I think feels really good. This bit though, not so much. Hey, at least you can do this though. You can move the mouse over here and then use gestures like this to do things on the screen. So that's handy. Now the actual swinging motion of this phone feels fine. Like this part feels good, opening it and closing it. When you're actually using it, the screen kind of wobbles a little bit. It's not the most stable thing in the world. Another little quirk is that when you close it, you can actually see there's this extra bit of glass under here to make it look like a part of the screen. Now clearly they could have put a camera here and that would have made sense, but they didn't. They put the camera up here. When you open up the camera, the phone just gets even weirder. It automatically enters into gimbal mode for video, which is kind of sick. If I start recording, you can actually see when I rotate it, it is keeping things pretty stable. And then you got follow mode like this, and then you can actually adjust it like a real gimbal. It actually works not too badly. It's not fantastic either, but literally the only reason why I have the camera open right now is to do this. Look how ridiculous this phone looks when you have it open and with the front-facing camera popped out. Like, what is this monstrosity of a smartphone? It just absolutely transforms into this kind of thing. It's so damn cool, but it's also like so ridiculous at the same time, but I can't help but love it. So this is dual recording mode where you can record the front-facing camera and the back camera at the same time, which is fun. Alright, here I got my dual recording. Whee! What happens if I drop the phone during this? Yeah, lovely. Oh, and then it turns back on. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. This isn't the camera test yet, but I just want to see how this works. What happened to the face cam segment of it? Oh, it recorded it separately. You've got here the bit where I drop the phone. It goes black. Then I dismiss it and it comes back out again. This is so ridiculous. I love it. Oh my god. And then I'm trying to go home. Yep, go home. And now that's the wrong way. Now it's the right way. It's just a lot of this, and I mean a lot of that. It always takes like a second to figure out its orientation or what the hell it's trying to do. The software's laggy, it's constantly trying to keep up. With the weird hardware and the absolutely buggy software, see, look at it right now. It really becomes a pain to use, and trying to do anything on this device really feels like you're walking through jelly. But it's fun. I have fun using this, but my god, I would hate to use this as my daily driver running this software. And speaking of software, let me do this, and then let me put it up here, and then let me use the trackpad. And now let's scroll down to the bottom. Where's about phone? Here it is. No, not regulatory and safety. Yeah, if you accidentally tap something that's portrait only, you get stuck with this. You get stuck with a sideways trackpad, and then you have to change the phone like this. and then flip it back over, you can see that this device is running Android 10. Now, while this phone can go up to Android 13, this AT&T version of the LG Wing won't let me update the goddamn software on here. No, I have to use a program called LG Bridge to do that. But guess what? LG Bridge doesn't work anymore. So my LG Wing is currently stuck on Android 10 and I need this software LG Bridge to update it. So if I go to install and then we go Windows, the freaking download page doesn't even work. Oh goody, my favorite website, softonic.com. Boop. Oh yay, lovely, Windows security. Yay, now I have to go in there and fix it. Stop opening up a web page. Oh my god, stop. I've had to go in and turn off so much crap in order to maybe try get this to work. It's just ridiculous how much you have to turn off. I had to turn off all of this. There we go, turn off that. Go away, Microsoft. My god, let me install my program. Yes, finally. So it turns out it was all just Windows Defender being crap, as it always is. And now it works, so we can plug in the LG Wing and finally do our software update. Wing. Okay, it's connecting. Let's do software update. What? Why? Why doesn't this work? What do you mean network's unavailable? Is this more Windows Defender garbage? So in order to update this guy, I'm going to have to sideload a whole new version of Android onto it, which I'm really not going to do. So this guy is stuck on Android 10 for this whole video. Thanks LG, thanks AT&T. Why are things like this? Carrier locked phones and updates. Ridiculous. I am honestly surprised that this phone is even getting signal and hasn't had its IMEI blocked by the Australian government yet, which is a thing. Ever since the 3G shutdown, any phone that doesn't support proper Australian bands and voice over LTE just gets straight up blocked. So, wonderful. So this phone I probably can't even use in Australia anyways. So yeah, all across the board, it's just constant, weird and funny shenanigans, making this phone interesting yet also infuriating to use. Before we really dive deep into the software and some use cases for this, I want to talk just a little bit more about the hardware quirks. Let's take a little look at the back of the screen when it's unfolded. You can see this really nice dotted design on here. If I close this though, oh, what's this? I'm seeing a bunch of scratches on here. Yeah, that's a lot of scratches. I have heard a lot of people say that this bottom screen has been scratched by the top screen over time. Luckily, this phone seems to be in pretty decent condition, but I could only imagine how just the slightest bit of dust and debris, you know, just a little bit of dirt in there, and then you go to close your phone, that'll just destroy the bottom screen. It'll just grind the hell out of it with whatever dust and debris you've got in there. So yeah, don't take this thing out onto a work site, don't get any kind of dust into here because it'll just crunch in there. Also, here's the earpiece for the phone. There's a little slot here in the back of the screen and then another little earpiece slit up here. So when you close it, the sound from the earpiece funnels through the top and then plays through there. It's really funny seeing the solutions that LG had to come up with for this phone. It's like every little thing about this phone is so ridiculous. Like, why does this extra glass bit stop here randomly? Just, there's a bit of metal and then they got an extra glass piece that goes down like that. Anyways, let's dive into the software a little bit more and some of the use cases that the dual screen can provide for you. Let's have a look at the software on the LG Wing, which, if I'm being completely honest, has got to be the absolute worst part of this device. Yeah, sorry to spoil it for you guys, but I don't know how LG managed to ship one of the worst Android skins I've ever used on a phone. And it's like, not even the dual screen aspect of this phone makes this Android skin absolutely suck. Even when I'm using it in single phone mode, it's pretty bad. But let's just start using this device to see what interesting use cases I can come up with for this thing. One idea I have is document creation. So that means we can open up Google Docs and then up here we can go to Chrome and then we can start browsing things. Yeah, funny search, isn't it? For example, if we need to research lettuce, we can search up lettuce. Yeah, there's no keyboard autocorrect. I have to put it up here. What is this? This is absolute garbage. Smart toolbar. What happens if I turn that off? Oh, cool. I get a number row, but I still don't get an autocorrect row. Let's have a closer look at that smart toolbar. What do we get? emoji, a dog, GIF, pencil, a microphone settings, and an option to put it onto the top of the screen, which you will never want to do. Okay, so here we go. Lettuce is a popular leafy green vegetable, and once again, you have to scroll like this if you don't use the trackpad. This right here shows perfectly why most people never use their phones in landscape mode. Let's just say I'm browsing the web in landscape mode, and we have this massive banner right here telling us to donate to Wikipedia. Look how far we have to scroll before we get to our content. But at least you can do this. Hey, now it's slightly better. But this is kind of cool though. You essentially have a smartphone with a second monitor sticking out the side. Although we could turn it around this way, and then we can kind of use it like a normal phone. Alright, so let's start writing out our Word document. Totally not copying it. Let's go all the way to here. Something about salmonella. Why not? And now surely this will let me paste into here. Paste. Hey! How do I dismiss the keyboard? Okay, go back like that. Wow, look at my Word document. Oh wait, you can't see anything because it's all cramped on this screen. So, let's swap the screens. Wait, not that one. Here. Okay, if I do this... Okay, I'm just going to open up settings here to hide some of my other documents, but it seems like Google Docs has wanted to open itself up in multi-window mode, which is interesting. So I have the settings for Google Docs open right now, and then the document I just created here. Oh, cool, look at that. So I've made a second Google Docs document next to my first one. This is weird. Now look, this is a really cool feature because sometimes you may need to copy stuff from one document to another, but also this sucks. And it's something that works so much better on a foldable device. Why? Because you get two full screens to work with instead of whatever the hell this is. And yeah, I am going to be comparing this phone to a foldable quite a bit in this video because, well, it's kind of just better in every single way. I mean, really think about it for a moment. These two form factors are trying to achieve the same thing. It's trying to go from a normal phone to a phone with an extra screen on it. But what you end up with on the LG Wing is a phone screen plus half a phone screen. You only get an extra 50% of screen real estate. Meanwhile, on the foldable phone, you start off with one phone screen and end up with two phone screens. You end up with much more screen real estate. And there really is just more stuff you can do on here. Sure, the screen is plastic and you can damage it using your fingernails and there's a crease, even though most people don't care about the crease. But like, is this really any better? Probably not. I would even go as far to say that the Surface Duo is a better form factor than the LG Wing. It's essentially the middle ground between the LG Wing and a foldable, because it's basically the same footprint as a foldable, except you have two separated screens instead of one massive screen. This is really good if you're running two separate apps at the same time, but not good if you're trying to span one app across both screens. You very much cannot span one app across two screens on the LG Wing. The only time you can get anywhere close is when you have it this way and then you're using the bottom screen as a keyboard, which is kind of amazing actually. And you know what? In landscape view like this in Google Docs, it's not the worst thing in the world. Hey, Lettuce is pretty damn good and this is not too bad. For typing with a landscape view, this is actually pretty decent. But this is literally the only time you can utilize both screens for a single app. On a foldable, you can literally take any app and just span it across both screens to get a much larger view. It's just the better way of doing it. Now look, when the LG Wing was introduced, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 was the latest foldable out on the market, and that thing was insanely thick and bulky. To represent it, I'm going to use this Galaxy Z Fold 4 with a case on to show an example. Now in terms of thickness, the LG Wing was definitely thinner than foldables of the time. However, with newer foldables such as the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, you can see it's pretty much the same thickness. And if I had a Z Fold 7 or some Chinese phone, it would be even thinner than this. And let's be real for a moment, this whole mechanism could be made thinner, but honestly, would you really want it to be? Probably not. So pretty much modern day foldables have caught up and surpassed the LG Wing in pretty much every way imaginable. So while you can do this, let's be real, you're not going to do this. No one's going to do this because this just sucks. It's way better on a foldable phone and yeah. But that's the thing, right? That's a third-party app. That's not one of the official apps that LG has put into my carousel here that take advantage of both screens. I mean, never mind that these two apps don't, but let's just ignore that, okay? Let's go into the gallery. Now, this is cool. You can have your gallery on the top and then have this cover flow UI on the bottom to scroll through all your photos. This is pretty damn cool, and I actually really like this. It's really good to show people your photos. And then to zoom in, you just do that. This is sick. I like this. And then you've got all your options down here, delete, share, this and that. You got this button to do all your extra funny things with it. You know, you can print to a printer. You can press Google Lens to see what this is and it'll tell me what it is. The prominent Art Deco building is the former Russell Street Police Headquarters in Melbourne, Australia. That's probably correct, but I don't know. Hey, that's kind of cool, I guess. Oh wait, now I'm back out of the UI. I now have to press this to get back into the UI. Okay, but are there any other apps that can take advantage of both screens? I don't know. So let's try finding some. Let's go to the game launcher. Legal documents for customized service. Google Analytics, take my data. We got some pre-installed games like Game of Thrones Conquest, Asphalt, Solitaire, and Huge Casino with 3 U's. And then these two on the bottom I added myself. We're gonna try playing some of these games in a moment, but first I wanna find a damn app that supports both of these screens. Let's do the HD audio recorder. That's it. No funny little business. I can't have the thing on both screens. Oh, hold on, let me turn up the volume. Oh wait, I have to reach behind here to do that. And then we put the screen on top. That's it. LG Smart World? Yes, what is this? Allow. No, service unavailable. Nice. Let's go to music. Allow. Yep, take my data. Here we go. Now we have some music. 2 songs here. We got Life's Good Funky and Life's Good Piano. I don't know if I'm going to get copyright claimed for this, so I will turn the volume right down. This doesn't sound very funky to me. Is there any interesting UI when I want to use it on both screens? Can I put this on top, play this, and then have that thing show up? I know on YouTube I was able to get a dual screen UI to show up, but on here, I can't. Hold on. We have games and game launcher, but what does games do? Games is not currently available. Huh? What? Of course we have some AT&T slop, because this is an AT&T phone that I imported. We got a bunch of games on here. Oh my god, what is this bloatware? We've got Amazon, all the mobile game slop you could ever want. You got Chime. What's Chime? Oh, a banking app. A banking app pre-installed on my phone. Thank you, LG, or maybe AT&T. I don't know. Solitaire, Spades, Mahjong, and Woodoku? Woodoku? What is Woodoku? Okay, well maybe there's something. Anything that this phone can do well using both screens. Surely. Well, here it is. The camera. Now when you have the camera opened in this mode, it pretty much just acts as a normal smartphone camera. You got your photos, your videos, you just put it portrait or landscape, it's your standard affair. But as soon as you open it, that's when all the funky shenanigans happen. And immediately it throws you right into gimbal mode. I showed this a little bit before, but I'll go a little bit more in depth here. So you can see here that right now, it's just kind of following what I'm doing. It's stabilizing it a little bit, but it's mostly following my movements. If I press PF here, pan follow mode, you can see here it's following left to right, and if I go up and down, look how stable it is keeping that. That's actually pretty decent. And then if you want to adjust the angle, you use the controls on screen just like a real gimbal. It is cool and does create a different feel for your videos. The unfortunate bit though is that this is all digital zoom. Full HD. Oh, regular HD, and now that's really crusty. Yeah, here's the thing, right? This would actually work if the cameras are landscape. But they're not. If I close this back up, the video is in portrait mode. So what exactly is this phone doing? Well, it's just taking that portrait video and cropping into it to make this. Now it is 4:3, so it's not as extreme as it normally would be, but you're missing out on about this much of video. So it's just going to be in a severely low resolution, and all that just to get some highly stabilized shots, which could be useful, but it's going to look crusty, which I will show in the camera test. And of course you got follow mode, which I don't really know what else it does differently compared to first person view mode. This button here to lock it in place. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I can look at this thing here, press lock, and oh wow, that is really locking into place. You got the microphone here, ASMR recording. Screw it, we're in ASMR mode. Let's do ASMR gimbal mode.
Hey guys, welcome back to my ASMR.
Wow, let's hear this ASMR mode. Wait, hold on, let me turn up the volume. Oh yeah, I have to reach back here to do that.
Hey guys, welcome back to my ASMR.
This mode is so freaking useless. Oh my god. Alright. Hey, at least the viewer was using both of the screens. So that's fun. You got slow-mo. Oh, look at that. It's using the wide-angle camera for slow-mo. This is slow-mo on the wide-angle camera, which is going to be at a low resolution, and it's cropping into it in the portrait view. This is a mess. I don't even want to know what the footage is going to look like once I film this. Jeez. Well, I guess it's time for the camera test. I took this phone out to get some sample photos, and I'll display them on the screen for you here right now. And that was the camera comparison. It looks like the LG Wing really wants us to play Asphalt Legends. Screw it, let's play Asphalt Legends. Oh, what's this little button here? Oh, game mode. Can I put controls down here? Can I? Please? Black stabilizer. What is the black stabilizer? Adjust game graphics. Oh, and then when you press apply, it relaunches the game. Lovely. Okay, if we're not gonna have the controls on the bottom, what exactly are we doing here? So what, am I meant to have the game tools on the bottom and play it like this? In that case, why don't I just close the damn phone and just play it like a normal device? Please tell us your age. Boom, I am 100 years old. Gameloft and its affiliates may use cookies, tracking pixels, SDKs, or similar technologies, including technologies, place control, blah 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 blah. We want your data. So it put this game on the top screen, the screen that appears every time you open this device, and it has absolutely nothing to utilize both screens. What's the point? touch drive, car acceleration, and turning automatic. Lovely, of course it is, because why wouldn't it be? Hold the drift icon on the drifty car. Oh no, here's where it falls apart. Wow, I'm doing this right now. Screw it, let's be a PC gamer. Let's use the mouse. Resume. Please let me use this. Here we go. Hold on, tap the nitro icon to activate a nitro speed boost. It won't let me do it. No, I want to use the trackpad. This is so nothing, this game. There's no actual gameplay to this. I'm just pressing 2 buttons and it's doing everything for me. This is something I couldn't do on a normal phone. I very specifically needed the LG Wing for this. Last chance to qualify. Go away. I can't swipe away that notification. Oh, what else we got? We've got Game of Thrones Conquest, which was pre-installed on here. I cannot wait to play this. Oh, what's that? It doesn't support landscape mode. I can go onto my phone here, but that's going to be in portrait. And that's going to also be in portrait, but it's landscape. But what? Wait, this doesn't make sense. Hold on, we could do this. But at that point, we have to close the damn phone. All right, play. All right, we're playing the game. We're playing it. Yep. That one, that button. I got 202 leaves. Let's build a stable. All right. Storehouse shipment. Upgrade. Upgrade now. I did something. Please let me play the game in landscape. What the hell is it doing? Okay, weird. Let's try something like ball sort puzzle. Oh, look at that. It doesn't support a landscape mode. It's lagging even on that. This is a 2D game and it's lagging. This is ridiculous. All right, home time. What about Block Blast? Hungry Games. I'm hungry for a decent 2-screen experience on this phone. I don't think I'm gonna get one. Oh, look at that lag. Oh my god, look at that lag. Wow, this is optimal. Can I use the mouse on here? Oh, we gotta do it like this. All right, here we go. Yes! We're using mouse controls. Hey, this is basically PC gaming now, if you really think about it. You know, I really don't care about any of these other ones. Let's try doing solitaire. This is something you can't do on a regular phone, by the way. You can't control solitaire using a mouse, using your extra screen. You can't do that. I bet you really wanted to do that though. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. Okay, I know a game that will definitely use this top screen. Crossy Road. Confirm my age. Oh, it tried to put the keyboard on the top. See, this is really good because you can have Crossy Road and Discord up at the same time. Oh wait, I forgot about this bug where you can't actually use Discord because it thinks you're using it in landscape mode, so it won't close this menu. Let's do Crossy Road with a mouse. There we go. Look, if I can't control this game from the bottom, then like, what is the point, you know? Oh, it's not responsive when you do it like this. You have to use the screen. Maybe I'll find something that's useful for both screens. Maybe. Okay, somehow I've ended up back into solitaire. It really wants me to play solitaire. I don't want to play solitaire. Let's go home. Here's the thing, right? I really like this phone. I really like the hardware. I mean, you can't close it with one hand. Barely, you have to do that. I really like the hardware of this phone. But I hate the software. The software is utter garbage. The wallpaper was upside down there, by the way. Even if the execution of this device wasn't utter garbage, the whole idea and form factor of this device is fundamentally flawed. Now, this could work well if all the apps supported it, but with just how sleek and small modern foldables are, just get a foldable. It really is kind of the same thing, but better in every single way. It's the same thing, but you just add another quarter of the screen. Boom. LG Wing, but better. And that really is my summary of this device. It's a super, super cool device and form factor, but it just doesn't do anything well. You can do pretty much all of this stuff on a foldable. It is cool being able to do cover flow with all your photos, you know, that's kind of sick, but That's it? Okay. But the actual best aspect of this device is bringing it to parties. I've shown this device to quite a few people and the wow factor is immense. You show them this very innocent looking phone, you know, nothing special going on here, but then all of a sudden, it opens, and every single time I get insane reactions out of people, and it's kind of fun. So hey, if you want a nice phone to show off with, this is the one. But as a phone to use, this phone is kinda hot garbage. But it's fun though, I like fun phones like these, I like experimental phones like these. It just sucks that this phone sucks. But I'll always appreciate LG taking risks, making experimental phones like this, even if it costs them their spot in the phone market, because yeah, they pretty much stopped making phones after this. Which sucks because the smartphone industry really isn't that experimental anymore, everything's quite safe. They won't even make mini phones anymore, that's how safe the phone market is. So the LG Wing, as bad as it is, will always hold a special place in my heart as just a weird little goober of a phone. And I'll always appreciate an experimental phone that takes some kind of risk over another generic slab phone any day of the week. RIP LG, may your TVs, washing machines, and refrigerators be better than your phones were. Rest in peace, LG.
And that is the LG Wing. What a weird little device this thing is. My name is Frockford. You can say however you want, I really don't care. New videos whenever I like. Consider becoming a channel member like all these people on the screen have. You get some bonus videos, early access to my upcoming videos, custom Discord server roles, and your very own Minecraft server, all rolled into one. Starts at $1 a month. And that's about it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.